the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
At one time.
Let's go to the next topic. I want to talk about something that at first I was a bit surprised, but then after I was thinking about it a little bit, I was like, you know what? This is not surprising at all. And Jerry Jones keeping Mike McCarthy as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. What's your reaction?
I was disappointed. I had a feeling this was coming because the news, the beat reporters, that the beat writers and all, they was carrying water for the organization. I said, oh, I already know what this is about to be. Mm-hmm. They're gonna bring this fool back, and lo and behold, they did. And as far as reaction, like I said, if they wasn't gonna make any head coaching, I wasn't gonna be invested into the season next season. I'm gonna stand by that because I'm not about to sit up here and settle for playoff appearances and getting bounced in the first or second round. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna sit around for it. So whatever. Hey, congratulations for another playoff appearance. I mean, shoot, you might not even make the schedule next year is pretty tough. You might not even make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But I think the main I don't dislike McCarthy, but what he's done the past 3 years we've been in the playoffs, the fashion, we've lost in the same fashion 3 years in a row. We came out unprepared. The game plan was off. We just didn't look ready to play. Like it and the penalties as well. I mean, and clock man, things like that. It's like these things are at this point it's a pattern, and I can't see him just breaking that pattern all of a sudden. These are things that goes back to even when he was in Green Bay. So I don't see him just breaking out of this pattern for 1 year and, going on a real run this time. I just don't see it. And I think the bigger problem besides McCarthy is Dan Quinn. He has to go. He has to go. If they keep Dan Quinn, I know they just gave up. Because this is ridiculous, man. He's giving up 28 points per game to teams in like big games. 28? Are you kidding me? Like, it's ridiculous, man. And I could somehow see the logic of keeping McCarthy. Oh, he's won the division 2 out of 3 years. He won 12 games 3 years in a row. I can understand that. But Dan Quinn, he has to go. Please, Seattle, please hire Dan Quinn. I can't take this no more. But yeah, man, this just shows that this team, the org and Jerry Jones and them is content with the playoff appearances to invoke hope in the fan base. But it's super whack. It's very whack. This team ain't serious.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys fan himself. I'll say this.
One more thing.
Go ahead, man.
One of the guys that covered the team, he has a lot of skin in this game, Brian Baradas. He said he thinks that they kept McCarthy because not just Jerry, but specifically Steven and Will McClay. They don't want change. They don't want to change anything right now. He said they got comfortable, like with the scout, as far as scouting goes and what kind of players the team likes. He said they're comfortable with it, so they were more inclined to keep McCarthy because they don't want to have to go through a change. What kind of crap is that? And this is why this org ain't never gonna win.
I don't understand that at all. That don't make no sense because at the end of the day, the head coach, he's the head coach.
He's been saying that Mike McCarthy isn't demanding actual change from them, like a Bill Belichick would.
I see what you're saying. So like with again, Mike McCarthy,
he's more like a hey, I'm gonna let you guys do your thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not going to bang on the table for you to get this dude or try to pressure you into making trades and off-season acquisitions and stuff. He pretty much just lets them, like, you handle the GM stuff, I'll handle the coaching and whatnot.
Just like with Jason Garrett.
Yep.
They want to be comfortable. They don't want to be held accountable at all. Unbelievable. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's the same thing with Jerry Jones. He wants to be the reason that they win. He wants to have a guy that he can be comfortable with.
Now, Brian Baradas, he did say he believes that Jerry has started to take a step back from the football operation aspect. He said he felt like he's giving more control to Steven and Will.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he thinks is going on.
It looks like it, but at the same time,
he is the owner and
he's the owner.
Technically the GM.
And when they say, "Oh, we want to be comfortable," that could also be from Jerry Jones as well. He wants to be comfortable. And seeing what has happened with Mike McCarthy, with Jason Garrett, those are two guys he's comfortable with that he probably likes a lot. And he doesn't want to be held accountable. He doesn't want somebody to come in and say, "Hey, we need to do this, that, and the third." No, he wants a puppet. He wants a guy that follows everything that he says to a T and doesn't say why. You know how like some parents would be like, they be like, "Listen, you do this, that, and the third, and you better not say why about it." Like, no, there's no arguing about it. There's no debate about it. You do this, and that's that. This is a dictatorship. This is not a democracy. And that's what it is. That's what it seems like it is with the Cowboys. It's like, this is a dictatorship. This is not no democracy. You're not going to come up in here and say, we need to do this, that, and the third. No, you're the head coach. Go coach those players, and that's that. And by all means, since Jimmy, it's been the case.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say it's unfortunate. I actually love it.
Of course, everybody, yeah.
But it's just funny to me how like he continues to make the same mistake over and over and over again, and then he goes on the podium and he says, "Oh, I want to win. I want to win so badly."
He can want to win as much as he wants to breathe, but the fact of the matter is the Dallas Cowboys have a culture problem. There is no reason, I mean no freaking reason whatsoever, that our players should be on Twitter after getting embarrassed as the favorite, the huge favorites, as well as being the freaking 2 seed, losing to the 7th seed, first time that's happened, by the way, and being on Twitter attacking Skip Bayless, especially a leader of the team. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
We got players just tweeting them out like, yeah, we lost, but hey, Mike McCarthy's back. What are you talking about?
And then check this out. He tweeted at Skip Bayless after like a 4-day.
Yeah.
Like he was off Twitter for like.
That's your
4
first
days.
tweet when you come back.
And it wasn't like. And Skip Bayless said this like days ago. And all of a sudden you come back and you're like, "Oh yeah, I saw what you said. Blah 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 blah. You're just mad I ain't go on the show. Blah 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 blah."
Like what? These are it's only the defensive players that act like this though. You never hear from CD. You never hear from Dak. You never hear from anybody on offense. It's always the defense. Like, why are they so immature? Like, dog, y'all gotta grow up. This is ridiculous. I know it's a public platform. You can do whatever you want to. But Trayvon Diggs, you weren't even on the field. I know you sticking up for your mans, but like, bro, you wasn't even on the field. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault you tore your ACL, but these dudes don't need no defender. They play like garbage. They need to get publicly ridiculed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. It's a culture thing. You know, yeah.
Like, these is the players that's supposed to lead us to a champ. Yeah, right.
I remember back in the day when they were called the Redskins, now that the Commanders. It's kind of similar situation, except worse. I would say with Daniel Snyder, right? He used to always talk about, "Oh, I want to win." He would go. I remember. I think maybe in Sean Taylor documentary on NFL Network, you talk about, "Oh, I want to win." Like you always see him in the light, like, "I want to win," but then you look at his actions and you're saying, "No, you don't." Like, why is this team always going 7-9? Why is this team always going 9-8? Like they never compete at all, and the teams are always lackluster. They're always mediocre. The culture seems like there's no type of culture at all. It's always dysfunction. RG3 here, Jay Gruden here. By the way, that was
Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera here. Mike Shannon. By the way, Mike, man, how do you fumble Mike Shannon? That's crazy with those amount of coordinators. Man, how do you fumble Mike Shannon?
I told the group chat what happened with the whole Mike Shanahan situation
because of RG3. RGIII. Anywho, regardless, Dysfunction starts from the top and then all the way and then goes all the way down. It's a culture thing. You're absolutely right. People need to be held accountable. There's none of that. Mike McCarthy, he tried to hold CD. Whatever he tried to do on the sideline with CD did not work. It seems like CD doesn't have all that much respect for Mike McCarthy.
I mean, you look at it like there's no accountability. Like there's none. Like Dan Quinn is still employed. There's no accountability on this team. I don't think the players get held accountable. I don't think the coaches get held accountable. The ownership doesn't get held accountable. I mean, there's no accountability.
Right. Just comfortability. If you're a likable person.
It's like I said, it's a country club. It's not no football team.
Yep. You have to be in the good boys club in order to survive. And if you act a certain way, then Jerry Jones will take care of you. But if you are not like that, like if you're like Dez Bryant, who eventually got kicked out the door and stuff like that, that's what's gonna happen. And so,
like, how can you see the players that actually you won something? The Emmitt Smith, the Michael Irvins, even Troy Aikman said something, and then just be like, anywho, like these are legends. They're going to stop coming to the games.
Did you see Mike? I don't think you saw it, but like Michael Irvin after the game, I've never seen Michael.
Yeah,
Irvin
I saw it.
So disgusted with the team, so disgusted with CD and his actions. Like I've never seen Michael Irvin that disgusted. That wasn't the Michael Irvin that we've seen on TV for all them years. That was the Michael Irvin from the 90s teams. He was like, I'm going back to my 90s roots real quick just to let y'all know that I ain't playing.
Emmitt Smith was like, man, these dudes, man. He was actually at the game. sorry, Emmitt. I'm sorry y'all had to witness that foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't even close to no 90s Cowboys.
And Jerry Jones keeps bringing it up. Oh, these remind me of the 90s teams and stuff. Like, shut up.
He's a snake oil salesman. That's what he is.
See, the Jimmy, I mentioned it before on the last podcast. It's not the Jimmy Johnson curse. It's the Jerry Jones curse. The minute he went to the you-know-who and asked for, hey, let me get this third Super Bowl and I'm all good, I'm not going to ask you again, was the downfall of the team. And y'all are just cursed, man. Until he's gone, until he's out of there, it's a wrap. Like, yeah. He has to be gone.
It is what it is.
For good! I'm just playing. For good! Yeah, man.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
Look, cold world, still a cold world. And a couple of y'all is cool, but we a little more thorough. Whole time, a little more girls. You know I spit that sick shit and it's still no cure. Hold up,